So moving right along, you've heard the story behind Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady. Roger Gordon, who had signed Harriet Schock, Screen Gems Columbia Publishing, and also produced her album, sang Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady in the bathroom shower while we were in Palm Springs at a tennis tournament. And I went into the bathroom and said, "What is that?" He says, "Oh, that's Harriet's new tune, Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady." And I said, "I want it." And he said, "What are you going to do with it?" I said, "I'm going to have Lynda sing it, but I'm going to put a group around her this time." So the next step was to go in and demo it to see what it would sound like. And I didn't have a group for her. It was just Lynda, and I wanted to do something with Lynda to help her. My God, she'd been through it for several months with me, and nothing ever was released, so what can I do to help? Darnell and I got together. We decided we'll form our own group. Instead of finding a group that she can be part of, let's form our own. So luckily we found Pat McManus, who ended up writing a bunch of stuff for us as well with his partner Lefty Podrosky, and Ron Canoli, who has for decades now been a very successful worldwide minister. Look him up. He does amazing stuff. Ron Canoli, K-E-N-O-L-Y. And Jan Manley, who is Jan Manley Radcliffe now, married name, and Jan was the glue. So she blended so well with Lynda, she gave some kind of lower depth to the harmonies and the unisons that just melted in with Lynda's sound. So that was going to work out great. Essentially, we had 3 lead singers with that group, 2 of them 4-octave singers, that's Lynda and Ron Canoli. And then Pat McManus, who not only wrote a bunch of our stuff, but also had a marvelous lead voice. And you got Jan, who's adding the glue to the mix. So we called that group LAX. We went in, we demoed 5 or 6 tunes, including Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady. And Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady came out so well, just with Darnell's piano and Lynda and the group singing it, that I said, I don't want to touch this. I want to make a record out of this piano demo. And so we did. Ron Tutt came in and played drums with only that piano vocal track. Played it perfectly. We added bass. We added full orchestra. And Carol and I refinanced our house to cut that full orchestra because we didn't have a label deal. I was going to shop it and see whether I could place it once I was done. Thank goodness Joe Smith, president of Warner Brothers, said, "John, don't ever do that again. Don't ever put your own money into anything until you come see any of us first." Okay. So in essence, Joe Smith bailed me out, gave us the money for Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady with a fabulous B-side, Shala Do I, that Pat sang on and wrote. And it came out on Warner Brothers. Lynda Seals had her first release as part of the group LAX.
I might have found out sooner if you'd only let me close enough to see. That ain't no way to treat a lady, no way to treat your baby, your woman, your friend. That ain't no way to treat a lady, no way. Maybe it's a way for us to end.
In retrospect, for that release only, I would like to have released it as Lynda Seals and LAX. I think it would have been only fair to give Lynda the lead billing, the star billing on that after what she had been through, and she did a marvelous job on the tune. So Warner Brothers released it, put it out there. Middle of the road radio in LA started playing it, and Lynda and the group are thrilled because they're hearing their record on the radio. And I thought, here we go. And then maybe a month later, Eddie Rosenblatt called and said, factually speaking, he said, we can't do anything with this. We don't know how to promote this. P.S. on that, little postscript on that. Of course, because my stuff lended sweet. It wasn't R&B enough, so it didn't really fall into that pocket. And it wasn't super pop, it was more middle of the road, and that's why it was getting middle of the road airplay. I understand that the label didn't quite know what to do with it. So Eddie, when he called, said, we're going to give up on it. I'm sorry. He sent me a book called The Inner Game of Tennis as kind of a little gift saying, thank you for bringing it to us. We did the best we could, and bye-bye. And thus, what happened to Lynda, it wasn't tragic. We got some airplay, that's good. And we also, in retrospect, had a marketable product, Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady and Shala Do I, to sell LAX and those tracks to another label, which we did with a deal with Kip Cohen and A&M Records that rejuvenated the group and gave them an album deal. Lynda and LAX got an album deal at A&M Records. Wow. So what looked to be kind of disappointing, that a good record didn't get more play and didn't get more sales, turned out to be an album deal. Now for us, that meant that everybody got a chance to sing, not just Lynda. Jan was a background singer for the most part, so she didn't get a lead. She got step-out lines where she would do a sentence of a song. But for the most part, it was the three others, and we had an act on A&M that was really good.